The day was ending when I found myself standing at the edge of the forest, its shadows deepening with the setting sun. Everyone in town said to avoid these woods, warning of something far worse than wild animals or getting lost. The tales of the man with the wide-brimmed straw hat and the unnatural smile haunted my childhood, but I was too old now to believe in ghost stories, or so I told myself. I stepped forward, feet crunching the dried leaves beneath me. The path was familiar, one I'd taken a dozen times during the day, but tonight every branch seemed to twist, reaching out with skeletal fingers. I clutched the flashlight tighter, its beam shaky as it cut through the dark. It wasn't long before the quiet consumed me, pressing in from all sides like a blanket of silence. And then I heard it. A rustling, low and deliberate. My heart thudded painfully in my chest. "Just the wind," I whispered, willing my legs not to shake. But the sound came again, followed by the snap of a branch. Someone, or something, was out there. The beam of my flashlight swept the path, catching glimpses of shifting shadows and shapes that vanished as quickly as they appeared. That's when I saw him, a figure hunched beneath the weight of an old straw hat, face obscured by the shadow it cast. He stood in the middle of the trail, not moving, just waiting. The hat's brim shivered as if he was laughing soundlessly, and a chill settled into my bones. "Who's there?" My voice cracked, embarrassingly weak. The figure tilted his head, as if considering me, before taking one step forward. The smile came first, wide and toothy, far too sharp for a human. I realized then that the stories hadn't done him justice. This wasn't some prank or a masked man from town. This was him, the cursed wanderer of the woods. I stumbled back, flashlight dropping and rolling on the ground, casting frantic, spinning beams that illuminated flashes of his face. Dark, hollow eyes peered at me from under the hat, and his hand, long and gnarled like a twisted root, gripped a walking stick that seemed to writhe as though alive. He spoke without sound, the wordless movement of his mouth carrying more weight than any shout. My legs refused to move, as if the forest itself had bound me to the spot. I could feel the earth shifting beneath my feet, roots twisting up and around my ankles. "Please," I whispered, tears streaming hot down my face. But he only grinned wider, stepping closer, the sound of his old boots pressing into the dirt matching the thumping of my heartbeat. His breath was cold against my skin as he leaned down, the straw hat brushing my forehead. Suddenly the woods erupted in whispers, voices that mocked and jeered, pulling me deeper into a waking nightmare. The last thing I saw before the world went dark was his face, and that smile, promising that my story would be told in whispers around campfires, but only by those brave or foolish enough to remember.